Moshe Savdi, tell me something. How do you feel coming to Mexico now, to the city of Idea? A city, let's say, that you have made many projects for Mexico also.
Actually, I've not made many projects for Mexico. I wish I made more projects for Mexico. I did one school 40 years ago, so it's time to do more.
But
I come to Mexico every year. I have a house in Mexico, and so I spend a lot of time.
So you have to speak in Spanish?
I wish.
All right. You have to learn. Next interview will be in Spanish.
With Spanish.
Metsuyan. Tell me something about your work in Israel, like an architect, like doing some buildings in some very strange countries. Tell me about it.
Well, I've been working in Israel for 40 years.
Yes.
And I've had the good fortune to do some very exciting projects. Yad Vashem, the Children's Memorial at Yad Vashem, the Mamilla district, the National Airport. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to contribute to the architecture of the country. The new city of Modi'in, also a very important project.
We will have to ask you about the airport in Mexico, but we are not going to get inside politics because that's not, to make the Israeli one that it's incredible. That it's incredible, the one in Israel. Mamilla is one of the icons of Jerusalem now when you go there to buy it. How do you feel about making such incredible things that become icons? The memorial of the kids in Yad Vashem.
One has to remember how hard it was to get them built. Mamilla, I had to struggle with and fight for 30 years to get approved and built. So it gives me double good feeling to see what it's doing for the city today.
And the kids memorial, because it's very, how to plan something like that, because it's not just a building, not just a memorial, it has to have something else.
When they first asked me to do the Children's Memorial, they wanted a museum with objects. And I said people will not be able to take more information in. We have to make a place of contemplation. So I made the maquette, the proposal, with the candle, and they rejected it. They said, people will misunderstand, they'll think it's a discotheque, all these lights. And only 10 years later, Abe Spiegel, who lost his son in Auschwitz, saw my maquette, he wrote a check, and they said, okay, go ahead and build it. He says, you must build it, and I got it done. It is, for many people at Yad Vashem, the most moving moment that they are when they experience it.
Tell us a little bit about what do you represent with the candle, with that? What did you want?
Well,
people who visit the museum get.
And the candle, which is like the representation of the soul, reproduces through optics 1,000,000 times into infinity. You're floating between the candles, the souls of the children. You hear their names being called, and then you come out to life and overlook the forest.
About your job outside Israel, what can you tell us? You represent Israel in many ways when you do this.
Well, I have a great deal of very large-scale work right now in China, in Singapore, in Sri Lanka, in Brazil. So I have the good fortune at age 80 to be given wonderful opportunities on projects that really deal with the most burning urban questions today.
The last one. You represent, when you do a job in China, in Singapore, in Brazil, you represent Israel in some ways. They think about an Israeli architect.
Yes.
What do you think about it? It's another responsibility?
I have many identities. There was an exhibition of my work that called it a global citizen. I'm a global citizen and I'm an Israeli, and wherever I go, I speak for Israel and represent Israel. I also feel free to criticize Israel when it's appropriate. So I'm a good citizen, and I'm also a good citizen for Canada and the United States.
And the last one,
citizen.
How did you get to do the Magen David School here in Mexico?
I am Halabi. They are from Aleppo. They are from Aleppo. They heard about me.
Yes.
They heard about me, and they called me one day. They were difficult clients, though. It was difficult to get the building finished. I hope it's in good condition.
Because we are Mexicans and we like to do a little bit less. Thank you very much.
Thank you.